When I'm trying to make connections between the 7 habits and the curriculum or just work that I'm doing within the class, 2 things happen. Either it's just happening. I said synergize or I said be proactive, and it was just flowing out of me. And some of it is an intentional planning in the fact of, okay, how would this be a really great opportunity for us to, provide greater leadership and to do some hidden curriculum work.
Some observations and or questions that you might have right now.
This is the moment that, we're going to learn about density in science, but it's not the most important thing that we're learning at that moment in time. It's learning the greater character and citizenship side of things, how they come together and work and become greater beings.
We're talking about being inspired and empowered. What does empowerment mean? What I would like to see in my classroom is for students to take ownership of their learning. And of course we have to give them the background knowledge. They have to understand what the Middle Ages were, they have to understand the curriculum, and that's my job. I could tell them step by step exactly what they need to do, but I don't feel like doing that is really going to create a sense of ownership. Not just, well, you told us to do this, that's why I did it this way.
And you're using it in other classrooms, so they're seeing it everywhere, so that when you throw out that word proactive, how is this historical figure being proactive? Or how were they thinking win-win when they came across this kind of situation? The kids get it.
We've been doing reading responses, and so I want to focus on the fact that characters in novels are just like us in real life. The 7 habits affect everyone, and so they have to pick a habit, and then they have to pick a character in their novel and then explain, did they use that habit or did they not? And if they didn't, how, if they had, could it have changed the outcome? Or if they did, how it was a good outcome.
So that was part of her whole plan. And you could say that was completely proactive. She was in charge of herself.
In dance especially, I say this all the time. Okay, let's put first things first, and they know that means we're warming up. Because without that warm up, we're gonna have injuries.
First things first. We will start with the circle from
They already know that in order to create the choreography, they have to think win-win. They have to synergize. They have to seek first to understand.
I know I've taken a step back this year in some of my power kind of thing and like giving the kids more roles in phys ed, like whether it just be something simple as bringing out the equipment or making the teams and things like, or giving them the choice of today, is it going to be boys and girls game or do you want to mix and stuff, where in the past maybe I always made the decisions, but now it's like, okay, this is all on you guys. They have definitely run with it and it's definitely made things easier for me.
Putting first things first, we got to put those skills first.
Every Thursday, it's the students are in charge of the day. They have to come up with what we're doing for that day. Now, Wednesday night, I don't need to plan anything. So far this year, it's worked really well.
The habits are already there. They're already embedded in everything that we're doing, in trying to get the kids to problem solve, in trying to get the kids to be leaders in the class. Because I know it better, I have an easier time bringing it in and connecting it for the kids.
And like Germer was saying, what's the pattern here?
Math gets to be very competitive. So a lot of times when you do group work in math, it's one group versus another group, and who gets the answer first. And we try and discourage this idea as much as possible. We actually want to teach them that you actually get farther by sharing your knowledge, that there's no point in having knowledge and having skills if you can't share them with the rest of the world. I don't think it matters what class you're in. Keeping the big picture in mind and figuring out how the 7 habits can be worked into the mathematical processes that we're trying to teach is the key.
I don't think it's something that you can memorize and infuse. It's something that you have to feel, and it's something that you have to believe. So I am very, very new, but I do see the value in it, not just in school, but in life.
They see that it's real and it's not just a canned program. They see that I actually am living it and believe it, and it's a lot easier for them to say, okay, this is not just some other program that's come in. This is something that's real and this can affect my life. On the weekends, the job gets set aside, the marking doesn't need to get done, and we focus on family first. So putting first things first, that really helped me because I feel like it was a gift for me. I want to give that to my students.
I want every kid to be able to come into class and say, I'm ready to try whatever is presented to me today. but I have strengths that I'm gonna bring to the table, and these people that are around me, not just my teacher, but my peers, are going to help me get to where I need to go. That's exciting.
My job becomes easier. It's nice to be able to have everybody on the exact same page. I take a great pride in my job. So when I see that they're going on to become greater things than they ever thought that they could, that to me is the biggest payoff.